Hi Hashim, commiserations on the defeat. Just the decision to bowl first and not bat. Second time around, you guys have been on the defeating end. Is there any talk about that in the future as well? Because it's very difficult chasing under the lights, and also you guys have been struggling with chasing as well. So any thoughts on that, or has there been any talk about that in specific for that?
Yeah, I think actually we found it easy to chase under lights here at Newlands. The wicket kind of stayed the same. Anticipated that it will get actually easier to chase or more fairer, and I think it didn't get worse to chase. We just didn't manage to find any rhythm with the bat and build any partnerships to kind of get us there. I mean, 160, 157, we would have taken that bowling first. It's not a really big score, and the wicket played pretty decent.
How's that? I just wanted to know, Dewald Brevis is, trying to get some form. What is the messages you give to him after a few low scores like he has?
Yeah, obviously Brevi being a very talented youngster and having had success in some of the other leagues like the MLC, things like that. I mean, message to him is very clear. Firstly to assess the situation, get himself in, and he's a very powerful youngster as well. He can hit sixes, can take the game forward. So I mean, probably the game kind of today panned out in that manner. But unfortunately, there was not enough partnership in the middle to set the game up for that kind of onslaught towards the back end. Yeah, so obviously he hasn't struggled a bit to get runs in the last couple of games. He looked a bit more promising today, getting himself in. Yeah, so that's been the messaging to him. Obviously, we'll be back in because he's a really exciting cricketer who can win matches.
Hi, Hashim. I just wanted to ask about obviously the batting order and how it kind of didn't pull through this tonight. Obviously, you guys rely on your two openers, Dassi and Hilton, but do you feel like there's a bit more pressure on the rest of the batting order because you have such a dynamic duo in opening?
Yeah, well, the catch-22 when you have such a quality opening stand in first 4 games, it doesn't give the rest of the batting lineup time at the crease, and it doesn't allow them time to get runs under their belts. And so be it. I mean, you rather have it that way because obviously you want the partnership up front. So having had that, and it has now put responsibility on your number 3, 4, 5, 6 to rally around, and unfortunately we haven't managed to do that. But the guys are just 1 innings away from cracking it. Pal was obviously got a bit tougher to bat on, and this wicket I think was pretty fair. So obviously you just need to get the runs on the board, certainly in the middle order. I mean, you can't expect the openers all the time, although it's been amazing what they have produced. But it's giving other guys opportunity to stand up. Connor, Livy, obviously Polly as well. So, and one of the great things is Sam Curran's kind of taken that mantle, obviously at the left hand in the order, and he's managed to keep the batting a bit stable. So he's done a great job coming in his position.
Hi Hash, Tando here from SABC. Hash, how's the management going about putting together a team at this stage of the tournament? Some players are leaving, some are coming in, some injured obviously, and with the wins coming every now and again, every second game or so. So how are you guys looking at putting together the squad and for the next few games?
Yeah,
so it's almost like a shootout.
Yeah, well, we've been very fortunate. We haven't lost a lot of players, and the squad is pretty much staying the same, which is great for us. We certainly believe in consistency, and that's why the team hasn't changed much over the last 6 games. So it doesn't affect us a hell of a lot, which is good. Giving people consistency and giving batters and the bowlers time to kind of get into the competition is very important to us, and that's why we've stuck to that kind of system, certainly with the batting order.
Just talking about that batting order, I mean, going into your away, so you're going away now to Sunrisers, it's going to be another potentially difficult pitch to play on from a spin point of view as well, slow pitch. Would you be looking at making any changes, perhaps from a batting point of view, bringing in maybe another batter rather than having as many all-rounders?
Yeah, I don't think we've got many all-rounders, to be honest with you, and I'm not sure if Sunrisers is that spinning track that it normally used to be. I mean, we saw the other night, I think the seamers took most of the wickets. So Yeah, I think best that we get there and we assess what the work is like before we tinker too much. Yeah, with the batting lineup.
Hi Ash. This season in the SA20, we're seeing the emergence of left-arm spins. There's cover for MI, there's Noor, and there's also Shamsi who's been there for a while. Is this probably going to be like the new phenomenon where we're getting more left-arm spinners being put in teams as opposed to?
I hope so, and I really hope it inspires a lot of youngsters to take up left arm wrist spin and right arm wrist spin. I mean, you know, in T20 cricket, these wrist spinners are very valuable and they're match winners. So I hope it inspires, and the fact that we got Kaba and you know, he was playing and his journey has been an amazing journey to come into this arena now and perform. Robbie P really saw him and had a lot of belief in him and kind of worked with him as well. So we hope that it inspires. Shamsi has been a guy who's been performing for the last almost 10 years, and before him, Imran Taher, who kind of inspired wrist spin in 50 over and T20 cricket. So yes, I hope it plays its part and more South Africans kind of develop that art, and yeah, it will just be good for T20 cricket.
Hey Hashim, I just want to ask, so I saw at the strategic timeouts for out when we were batting, a lot of the core batsmen came out to give motivation to the players. Obviously, Pollard as captain and great batsmen came out. What is your relationship when it comes to strategic timeout? Do you tell the players what you think? Do you stand back? Your relationship with the players as coach when it comes to these tough times in the batting.
Well, in the dugout, you have the captain, Robbie P, the head coach, and myself, and we're always, strategizing what's the best way forward for us to win the match. And when we come up with the consensus of it, then we get to the middle and we share that with the batters, pretty much almost saying the same thing with 3 different people, reiterating the message, and as long as the message is clear and we feel it's the best way for us to win the match. Obviously things change as the game goes on, but that's pretty much our role of pooling our experience, our ideas together and coming with the best plan.
Ash, commiserations on loss. Ryan Rickleton's obviously not the best last 2 games, but he's been in incredible form in the tournament. Could you maybe just speak to us about what he's like in the dressing room and like what has inspired this run of form from you?
Yeah, the first thing is a very hard worker in all facets in his wicket-keeping, his batting. He's an intelligent cricketer, and I've had the good fortune of working with him at the Lions as well. He's an international cricketer. He's played Test cricket. He's been around the one-day setup and with the South African team. So he's a experienced cricketer who's finds a way of scoring runs the way he scores runs. And we saw at the start of this competition, the first 4 games as well. Anyway, that he played in a very positive manner, something that is natural to him as well, because he's a strong lad. He can hit 6s. I mean, I don't know if who's hit more 6s than him in the competition, but he's a 6-hitter. He's somebody who's putting his hand up to represent South Africa in the white ball version of the game, and he's a selfless cricketer. The way he's playing, he's taken on the power play, and you know that batting the power play is not easy because you have to take risks, and when you take risks, you could lose your wicket. But he's played selfless and tried to take the power play in my favor. Yeah, and he's a lovely guy to have in the team because he's adding that type of value.
Hash, you obviously speak about that opening partnership of Ross and Rickleton, and then those guys coming in the low order, not being able to really get going, and you obviously didn't touch on not being sure whether you will be switching things out for the Sunrisers. Are you not in any way sort of concerned or worried that keeping consistency or keeping the same sort of team might just backfire at a later stage where you need to win games to qualify for the playoffs?
Every strategic move can backfire. that goes without saying. You have to have a clear way of going to deal with things. 6 games, we've kept things consistent. I'd say 4 of those games, our batting has been pretty good because of the top order. We believe it could work, and that's why we go with this strategy. I think it gives players the best opportunity of being free to play in the philosophy that we want to, which is a low aggression, but intent, which is what we saw in the first 4 games anyway.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Shall we this game? I mean, I said it to you. Somebody come back.